Midterm elections showed that no, nobody cares really about trans women in women's sports. Nobody really cares about drag shows. No, people care about the fucking work, like the economy, the ability to put food on the table. They care about reining in the cops. No, that narrative of fucking being tough on crime did not work because the Democrats maintain the goddamn Senate, maybe plus one. Looks like the House is going to be a lot more difficult, but there was no red wave. There was no red wave. It did not materialize. With the win in Nevada of Cortez Masto in the Senate, the Dems are maintaining control of it. Obviously, Warnock and Walker somehow are going to a fucking runoff. I still don't believe that that's happening. A lot of actually state governments have swung Democrat. Democrats gain full control of state governments in Massachusetts, Maryland, Minnesota, Michigan. Republicans consolidated power in Florida, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So it's a mixed bag when it comes to state houses and state governments. But this was huge. This was big. I did like a fucking embarrassing like victory dance, when the Democrats won and kept the Senate. And let's be real, it doesn't save us, but it saves us it's a little bit of a reprieve from shit was getting dark. I mean, shit was like, before when I started maternity leave or whatever, it was like, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be Trump's running mate. And it was here are all the election deniers. It was just like, it was getting real bad. And then, hey, turns out people don't want authoritarians and fascists in. Just going over the list before I kick it to you guys. Blake Masters defeated in Arizona, like a total racist, white supremacist darling.
Yeah.
Don Bolduc in New Hampshire defeated. In the House, John Gibbs of Michigan defeated. These are all Trumpers. J.R. Majewski, that idiot who like basically lied and said that he served in the army and he never did. Governors Doug Mastriano in Pennsylvania, Carrie Lake in Arizona, with that fucking haircut, thinking she's all smooth and shit. Like, I know about journalism because I read the news on television locally. Like, and then of course you got Mehmet Oz, you guys. Mehmet Oz going down just in a face full of crudité, losing to Fetterman, despite Fetterman having a stroke, debating on a national stage, with recovering from that stroke, but like it's just the power of real progressive ideas and something different, and kicking a fucking the elitist, out of touch a-hole Mehmet Oz out of it. So lastly, Lauren Boebert is headed to probably a runoff too, like a recount. She's within 11,000 votes of losing her reelection to Adam Frisch, who is a Democrat, which is
sweet.
Fucking love it. So, thoughts? How did this happen? This has not happened in decades, where the party in control of the White House does not lose seats in a midterm election.
I mean, I'm just shocked that, because it is amazing that people said no to fascism, but they just said no. It's still like 49% are like, we're pressing the gas on fascism. Yeah. We're still very interested in it. And that's the thing that terrifies me the most.
Totally. How close these are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely terrifying because of the direction that's going, but it's also pretty satisfying to see the work of progressives and organizers, because we out-organized even the Democrats. I mean, we knocked on, in Pennsylvania, the Working Families Party and Unite Here and SEIU, all these labor unions, community organizations, knocked on over 1 million doors.
Wow.
And it took actually, it was discipline. There was a lot of discipline on the left and in progressive spaces to knock on doors and to actually talk to people. So that was it was really great that a lot of people are like, the left, you're never disciplined, you're all ugh. But it's really great to see that we were actually disciplined, we were on point, we won, and we did the impossible too. Young people, it's not just about the turnout as well, but also we like low propensity voters, as they like to call them, Black folks who don't, Latinos, folks who don't vote in midterms, young people, like they turned out.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's there's two parts to this narrative, right? And like you see most mainstream outlets going like, how come fascism isn't hitting the way it used to? And they're all giving the credit. Like, how do they need to retool? They give all the credit to, because it was Republicans' election to lose. And so I understand that that's the angle. But of course, they're never necessarily talking about, that grassroots organizing that WFP and others did. But I did want to just, like, what do you guys think this means for the future of Trumpers and Trumpism? I mean, I'll go first and just say, look, it matters that these election deniers, that they lost. A lot of them were running for attorney general in different states, and I think only one succeeded. That's huge. These are obviously the folks. I mean, this is basically what Brian Kemp successfully did to Stacey Abrams in 2018, but like, shutting folks out of their polling places, contributing to all kinds of making it difficult to vote. There's a discussion which is, it doesn't matter. They're all Republicans. They're all going to fall in line under Trump. And I understand that. I understand they vote along the same lines, that a Republican is a Republican, a Republican. But I think the difference for me, and this is something that has been bothering me, the one difference is, do you believe that the more votes wins the election or not? Will you accept results? Do you understand basic electoral math of like, I got more, I win, you got less, you lose? Like, that is the only difference. Yeah, they all want tax breaks. Yeah, they all fearmonger around immigrants. Yeah, they all demonize trans people. But do you think that like 2 + 2 = 4?
Well, what's interesting too is that the Republic, I understand how Trump is the election denier, because the last however many Republican presidents who have won did not win the popular vote and lost the popular vote by millions and millions of fucking votes.
Right.
And I cannot believe that the Electoral College still exists, and we should fucking throw it out. It's insane to me. And so, of course, they're like, it doesn't matter, because the popular vote doesn't matter in their minds.
They've actually been told that you can just rig it in your favor, and they've seen it work for them.
They've seen it work over and over again. And then the other thing, it's like, I'm sorry about the noise, but the other thing that is pretty wild is that like the reason also becoming an election denier, because he knew he was going to lose. That's the other thing. It's like when they know that they're going to lose, they like to create chaos. Right? They want a bunch of people who don't believe in the system, who don't believe in the basics of democracy, right? Yeah. It's like there's a bunch of stuff, but they also want people to not believe in government, right? They don't want to, and I understand, right? Like government there's been a lot of different things about the United States government in the history, right? Yeah. Good, bad, ugly, terrible, right? But at the end of the day, like they want you to not believe. That's why they defund it, right? They actually, right? They don't invest. And so that is a product of that, when they're just like, we don't care, because this whole thing is just our playground.
Totally. I mean, I'm of the mind that Trump's election was the most cynical election in our lifetimes. It was and it continues 100%. To be, right? But it was fuck it all. It doesn't matter anymore. Just let a strong man, whatever, take over.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.